amount of time, you have an amazing resume. I mean, you're a professional trainer, you're a professional cutman. You've got world champions in your stable. You're a cutman for Tyson Fury. You run the Top Rank gym. You have your own gym. Tell us about how you first got into boxing and how you were able to amass such a big resume in the boxing profession.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Armando, for having me in your program and Best Boxing, one of the best YouTube channels.
You're welcome.
In the sport. And I will tell you that I'm in the boxing business, in the boxing sport, by my family. As you know, my uncle Javier Capetillo, a professional boxing trainer as well, and just it's in the family, you know. And I was training back in 2000 on my uncle's gym, trying to get ready to go pro, but unfortunately, sometimes it was late for me. I was already like 18, 19, already married with my kids. So it was for me really hard to work and do the sport at the same time. So I got to choose my work and feed my family. Yeah. But I never go away from the gyms. I was around my uncles, around professionals, champions like Maromero Páez, like Isidro Chino Garcia, Cobra Gonzalez, who were former champions on that time in the gym. And that's how I got passionate, I get involved, and little by little get more into it, into the boxing business, the boxing sports, and I praise God to be in the position that I am now.
Nice. For those who don't know, I used to work at Top Rank, and that's how we met. I never asked you, how did you get started with Top Rank? How did you get started with it?
Okay, it was I'm already gonna be like 10 years working for Top Rank, managed the gym, and back then they were looking on someone who can take care of the gym. The position was open, and applied for the position. They give me the job, and just little by little start develop myself. We know each other for a long time. I remember I started doing mitts with you. Remember back then?
Yeah, totally. You're the one that, my first mitt trainer.
Yeah. Back then, so we've been family since then, and like I said, it was an opening position for manage the gym, do all the janitorial, make sure coordinate the time with the fighters. And I just fall in love, working for Top Rank, be around the sport, be around champions. It's been a tremendous blessing for me, Armando.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I was impressed with is that you made the most out of the opportunity working at the gym, and that you were surrounded by the top levels and top guys in the sport, not just the athletes, but when it came to trainers, when it came to cutmen. I remember Miguel Diaz kind of took you under his wing, and you were learning from him. So you were taking every opportunity to learn from these guys that you were surrounded by on a regular basis. And I think that's one of the reasons why you were able to move up so quickly, is because you were being taught by the best guys in the business.
No, you're right. You're right. Being surrounded people with a lot of experience. When I was learning, like Miguel Diaz, like Rafael Garcia, rest in peace. He was one of my mentors too. Ismael Salas. Yeah. I was working with Ismael Salas, with Jorge Linares, and Yordani Sugas, the Barthelemy brothers, and silver medalists, gold medalists, you name it. They were carrying me under the wings, and that opened me the doors, with a good ethic work. I'm a hard worker, man, just like you, and just take advantage. What was on the field, and I knew it was on me. I have the passion to do it, so I put a lot of work, I put a lot of sacrifice, and little by little, patiently. We start growing in the boxing.
Yeah, I remember you helped us out one time. We had the fighter Kevin Otley come out from San Diego, and he didn't have a cut man for the corner. And you came out on short notice. I think we called you like the day of the fight, and you came out and you did that. And now look at from doing stuff like that, favors for me, to to moving up to being Tyson Fury's cut man. How did that come about? How did that come about that you became his cut man?
You know what? As you know, I was in the beginning. I was in charge of of Tyson Fury time in the gym.
Yeah.
So the bosses like Brad Jacobs, Bob Arum asked me to take care of Tyson during his time in the gym. Make sure everything was set up for him, make sure he feels comfortable. And my personality is always humble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that said, we started getting along together. He see me working with my fighter like Jesse Magdaleno, former world champion, and now the number one top contender in the world, 126. So he sees that I have the little experience, that I've been gaining little by little. And just we click each other. We get along, He's so working hard. He's a hard working champion, Tyson Fury. So he asked me to join in the team. For me, was like a tremendous blessing. I was so grateful for him, to be part of the history, to be part of his team. So that's how we started working together. And and since then, I'm part of his team. I feel blessed, and he's going on.
Yeah, I mean, the first fight that you did with him, it was a 2-rounder, and so you didn't really get the chance to get warmed up. But what is it? The Ottawa fight, the second fight, man, everyone credits you for saving that fight, because most guys when they have cuts like that, they'll stop the fight, but you were able to keep the wound somewhat under control, closed. It wasn't bleeding. Talk about when he first came to the corner. Was at the end of the second round, I think, and you saw that cut. What the hell were you thinking?
My God, Armando, I was like, man, this thing got for real.
Yeah.
I'm like, look at this cut. I'm like, wow, man. It was the time to apply everything I've been learned from Rafael Garcia, everything that I've been learned from Miguel Diaz, everything I've been learned from my uncle. It was the time to apply it. It was like here and now, or that's it. I know that I didn't control the bleeding. They were gonna stop the fight, and we don't got the rematch. So I was, to be honest, I was praying in the corner like, God, give me the wisdom to control this. To control this bleeding, and I was just, get all the nervous out and just go to work. I know that if I give Tyson round by round, I know we're gonna get the fight, But I was very impressed, to be honest. It was two cuts, one in the eyebrow and one on the lip of the eye. So it was a difficult time, But thank God I got the ability and the courage to do it.
Yeah, had you ever seen a cut that bad on your own? I mean, obviously we'd all seen what are some of the knowledge that say Miguel gave you and how to prep for that? I mean, because that's like something you can't practice on, right? I mean, you see little cuts, but to see something that gaping, that big, to where it was down to the second layer of tissue, it looked like, because you could see the weight. I mean, you can't really train for that, correct? I mean, it's just something where you take all that.
Exactly. Well, you know what? Let me tell you this. On the beginning, when we used to remember the series of boxing that we used to do for solo boxeo,
yeah,
on Univision, well, we used to go around a lot, California. We used to go a lot on different states for the Univision fights, and they were all the upcoming fighters. So I used to go and do the locker rooms. Help them out and doing all the setup with lockers, bring all the equipment from the shows. So I started offering my job. You need a cut, man. You need a cut, man. And sometimes I'm not even charged. What I was trying to do is to learn.
Yeah, see,
I was trying to get experience on that time.
Yeah.
So that I was just jumping in any corner. Anybody who hired me. Sometimes I was, we don't have that money. Don't worry about it. What I needed was experience.
Yeah.
That was what I was looking for, and that's how I started learning little by little how to do the cuts, how to control the bleeding, how to clean the cut, how to apply the adrenaline, how to seal with the Vaseline, how to measure the time, because we got just 1 minute to do it, and all that stuff. Start getting the experience, jumping in one corner and to another, and that's how I start getting the experience, Armando, to apply it. And in the nighttime of Auto Wallet with Tyson Fury, it was like, this is the day. You're gonna graduate. Thank God I graduated that night.
Yeah, and that's a great lesson for not just within the boxing world, but anyone that wants to achieve anything in life. I mean, everyone got to know who you were on the night of that fight, because everybody from the broadcasters to Bob Arum to Tyson Fury, they all gave credit to what it is you did, but not everyone got to see what you were doing. What you just talked about is the fact that you sacrificed, you volunteered your services to guys at the lower end of the sport so that you could learn on your own. And that's not the glorious side of boxing that everybody sees, but it's all the work that you had to put in order to get that experience, which is a great lesson not only for your own family, but for anybody listening to this or watching this. To be able to do it, you put in a lot of hard work, a lot of years on the road. I mean, doing that show, the Solo Boxeo at Tecate, I mean, you guys were on the road a lot. I remember that show was going on, and it was at least once a month, if not more. So you're out there volunteering, not only setting up the locker rooms, doing your top rank job, but then also volunteering to do the job of cut man when the guys are actually in the ring. And then when you're done with the fight, then you have to take everything down.
Exactly. At the end, you have to take all the ring, all the dress from the ring, all the equipment, get it back and run back home. But yeah, like you say, in life, everything that you want to achieve, it takes sacrifice, and you're not gonna see the reward in the beginning, but if you persist, you persist in work and sacrifice. Just one of these days, you will achieve what you're looking for.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's what I'm so grateful with Top Rank, because they always allow me to develop. They never stop me like, hey, you can do that. You came here just to do this. Long as my work it was done, long as everything was taken care, they never stopped me. They always allow me to learn, to develop myself, to surround by champions, to surround by great trainers. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful with the company, with Bob Arum, for allowing me to do my job for the company and to do my job as a trainer or as a captain.
Yeah, that's one thing with Top Rank is they always allowed, to obviously to their benefit at the same time, was that they always allowed everyone to wear multiple hats there. So if you came in as one job title, that's not the only thing that you're going to be doing. You're going to do a lot more.
I remember you traveling all over the world with Manny Pacquiao, with Timothy Bradley, with Marquez, and you always surrounded by great fighters. And I remember you yourself too doing a lot of tasks, a lot of stuff for the company as well.
Yeah, the side that nobody gets to see, all that work that goes into it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you know what impressed me even more about you was when you brought in Stitch for the Wilder 2 fight. Tell everybody why you do that, because I was a little taken aback when I first saw that he was part of the camp. But then I saw that you were okay with it, and then you were not only okay with it when you told me the story. I was like, wow, tell people the story of how Stitch got involved with Tyson.
No, what happened was, when we got the rematch, it was already signed, when we fight over Wally, the rematch, it was already in the line. So when we got the win against Otto William, we know that the rematch was already signed. Everything it was going to be, ready to go. And for me, I understanding that that's the fight that Tyson wants his whole career, his whole life, working years and years, running miles and miles, rounds and rounds, and sparring. Looking for the opportunity. That was his night. So for me, it was, I know that I got the experience, don't get me wrong, And I'm more as a trainer, I'm more like a trainer. I work with Jesse Magdaleno as a chief trainer, and I know that I wanted to bring someone who only do cuts as Stitch with experience only in the cuts, because at the end of the day, it was all about Tyson. So I told the team, Tyson, hey, we should bring Stitch to just make sure that if today we open or whatever happens, we got somebody who specializes in cuts.
Yeah.
Now, not one like me that know how to do cuts, but someone who specializes on the cuts, So for me, it's not about me being the picture. It was about Tyson, make sure that he has the correct team. Yeah. So whatever happens, has somebody specialized. That was his time, and just bring someone like Stitch to bring the confidence on Tyson. There's not a selfish, someone who wants to get the picture and the credit and stuff. So no, bring a strong team together. It was that was all about, remember?
Yeah, I was really impressed with that, because that takes a lot to put your ego aside, especially after all the accolades from the previous fight, and then to be like, you know what, I'm not gonna be the number one. I'm gonna bring in Stitch, and he's gonna step up and handle that because he specializes in that. Knowing that, for guys who don't follow boxing or just who don't know the intricacies of what happens when you cut yourself. When you cut yourself, you can easily open that back up in the next fight because it's tender. And so the reasoning behind bringing in a specialist is that you obviously know that Wilder is going to be shooting for that to reopen it to get that advantage. So like I said, I take my hat off to you when it came to you stepping aside and bringing in. To me, if I was Tyson Fury, I'd be like, wow, this guy is really looking out for me, and not himself. I was really impressed with that.
Yeah, that was the main thing, to do, and that was I think was the best choice to make, to do. It was of course, you have to push out your ego, and like I said, make sure the fighter feel confident, the team feels strong, and whatever happens, you have the specialized who's gonna take care of the cut. He's not gonna be me like, oh no, I can do it. I'm sure I can do it. And he might get caught or whatever, and for be the hero, become the villain. That's not.
Yeah. That's true.
Just for ego. Like you said, just for the ego. And I know that I'm a rookie trainer. I know I'm a rookie. Cut man. I know that it would take years to get to the level where Salas says, or my uncle Nacho Beristain, or Freddy Roach, or Manny Robles, or you name it. One of the big trainers in boxing on this time. But I know if I'm patient and persistent, my time will come. And I just gotta be patient, man, and make sure that I'm ready when my time comes.
Well, it's taking that and transferring that over to training, and your time will come. Your time has come with Jesse Magdaleno. Jesse's no slouch. He's a world champion, former world champion. He's ranked number one. How did that relationship come about between you and Jesse?
No, you know what? With Jesse, we get along really good. Yeah. I'm so blessed to be his trainer. He has a tremendous talent. He has a tremendous punching power as well. Has a lot of courage too. So to me, and to give me the confidence to be his chief trainer, it takes a lot. A lot of responsibility. I'm there for him day in, day out. Morning, night, whenever. I'm always available for him to develop him. And we already got 2 fights in 126, which is a new division. And in the last fight, we fight a guy from Tijuana, very tough contender. Very, very, very tough contender, and we got a good win. and people see what Jesse is capable to do, what my work is, I'm capable to do, and we just got a tremendous win that night on August back in California against Rafael. Who fights. It was already a title contender against Santa Cruz. He fights Santa Cruz. He fights Jojo Diaz. It was just got lost with a top contender or world champion guys.
Yeah.
So when we fight him, man, it was a great fight. It was a tough night, but Jesse showed skills, showed boxing, showed power, and he got a tremendous win.
Now, Jesse was already a polished world champion fighter when he came to you. What have you seen in him that you wanted to tweak? Because in terms of his boxing IQ and his knowledge inside the ring, he's fairly. I consider him one of the top guys in his weight class in terms of his knowledge and his talent in order to execute on what he knows. So, what did you bring to the table? What did you see in him that you wanted to tweak and make better so that he can move into the 126 division and become a world champion again?
Look, and Jesse has a tremendous footwork.
Yeah.
So when we start working, I see that he was a little bit flat-footed, like more puncher than a boxer puncher. He was more like a brawler, which is okay. It's okay to be a brawler, but if you got a good footwork and you got a good IQ, why don't use your box skills, to take advantage of that? So I see that Jesse has a great footwork, so we start developing again his footwork, make sure he's in a good distance, which is in the middle distance. When he can see the punches coming, he's a great counter puncher as well. So with that said, we start developing again his footwork to move side, to do laterals, to use his laterals to punch in angles, and he start developing again, and he start falling in love again with his movement. And with Rico Ramos in the beginning, what happened was that he was using a lot his footwork because he was getting back in his footwork. But the balance went from here to here. He was using a lot. He was moving a lot in his footwork. So I told him now let's close a little bit the distance with the footwork from the middle, so you don't have to be bouncing around the whole ring. You know where you are and how to take advantage of your distance. So you don't go away. So you're there to counter punch again. And the second part what we did was he was moving in his footwork, but it was already counter punching and moving. And when he moved, he was counter punching again. So we adjust that in his footwork now. Now what we're working right now is in the power punching on his left hand. But he has a tremendous right hook. But we're working a lot on his stress left and on his overhand. In his uppercut, so he got both hands strong.
Nice. Yeah, he's got two strong hands. That's awesome that you're developing those even more. I was always impressed. He naturally could throw to the body and then come up top like it was nothing. I think early in his career he used to knock guys out like that with that. I think it was like 2 or 3 fights where he knocked guys out with that combo where he would throw to the body and get them to drop their guard and then come over the top and then drop them. That was always my favorite combo out of any fighter, active fighter, was what Jesse did with his body and headshots, or his hook to the head. So what I know Jesse has been wanting to be more active, and just from dumb luck, things have happened to where he hasn't been as active as he wants to be. And now with this COVID thing, everybody's careers are delayed. When can we expect to see Jesse back in the ring? I mean, I know he was training. Have you guys heard anything from Top Rank about when they want to put him back in the ring?
Yeah, you know what, Armando? We were scheduled to fight on March 14 in New York.
Yeah.
So we went out there, and we went to the press conference, and they told us that we were gonna fight with no audience. That was what they told us by come already on that Thursday. And then we went back to the hotel, rest a little bit, and we started working out like around 8. we thought we finished doing the weight. We got the weight 125.8, and 2 minutes before the phone rings to tell us that the show was completely canceled.
Yeah.
So we were in shock. We were mad. We were sad. We were worried. Everything on the same time, you know. And it was a 10-week camp. It was a lot of work, a lot of sacrifice, a lot of training expenses too, you know, everything, man. So we came back from New York healthy, thank God, and now he take 1 week off, and then he called me and said, I'm going to start running. I'm going to make sure my weight is okay. So so I stay ready. And so when they call us, we were ready to get back in camp and get ready for day. Now we're just waiting that this pandemic goes low, the business can reopen, sports get back to business, you know, and we're just waiting for that. And hoping the Top Rank, we hear they're going to do a series of boxing in ESPN, I think, by the studio. It's not going to be outings until next year. Yeah. So we just hoping to get the date, you know, and start camp again, and start, you know, get all the stages of the camp on point, ready to go. Like I told you, he sent me a picture of his weight. It was 142, which is good, you know. Yeah. I'm really impressed with his matureness. He's more mature now. Yeah. That's the one thing that Jesse has developed, his matureness as a man, as a father, as a brother, as a son, as a fighter. So now he's more a man. And with that said, you know, that matureness told me that he's ready to become a world champion anytime this year when they give us the opportunity, and we're ready to go when Top Rank told us they have the green light to do shows, and hoping we get a day soon.
Yeah, there was an article that interviewed Bob, and he said that he was looking at doing fights in Florida without an audience. I'm not sure if that's the same with the studio setup, but they're looking at multiple options on how to get the sport back up and running. But it seems like they're going to be doing boxing soon without an audience. It's going to be weird, but as long as you guys are fighting, right?
Yeah, you know, as you know, my fighter lives from his paycheck from fighting, you know, for fighting. If your fighter don't fight, they don't eat. They can provide to the family. They can bring food to the table. So I mean, it's good to have the energy from the audience and the positive, the good vibes, and that's what we do. We entertain people. We're in the entertainment business, you know. But we gotta just. I think fighters are professional, and they come from many of the pros come from the amateurs, you know, from the amateurs programs, and they know how to fight with people, with no people. Yeah. So you know, we're professionals, and we have to adjust whatever it is it have to be done, and if we have to fight with no audience, well. We have to fight with no audience, and I'm pretty sure Jesse, he will miss the vibe and the energy from the people, but I'm sure he's a man who has to provide for his family to bring food to the table, and I'm sure he will be very responsible, disciplined, and just be a professional and fight like in any position that has to be done.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I know with all that you've accomplished in a short time, you also open your own gym, which was recently opened. So I mean, it's been what about a year?
Yeah, 1 year.
1 year, and then this COVID thing happens. So your gym, I mean, by order of the governor, all non-essential businesses had to be shut down. So you guys had to shut down. How are you holding up with that? I mean, I know it's got to be tough for any business that you have that you can't be generating money from. How are you holding up? How are the kids? Because I know that you had a lot of kids that came in and trained as well. How's everybody holding up?
You know what? The kids are sad because the gym is closed. You know, we have a good progress programs for kids. We have the anti-bully club. We have a program to build self-confidence in the kids. We got a weight loss program. We got a boxing program as well. So we got a few programs for the youth.
Yeah.
It's not only about about the technique, the job, or the technique of the right hand or the footwork. We're getting more than on the youth and in the self-confidence. There's many kids who feel alone at home, or they feel bullied in school. So we're building a place where a kid can feel confidence, can feel part of it, part of the gym, part of the boxing sport, part of something, part of the boxing family. So with that said, my kids, they're missing the gym. They text us, they tell us, hey, we can't wait to be reopened. As a businessman, of course, it hurts. It hurts a lot because we're holding with all we have. All my savings inside the gym. I've been saving for years to open my gym. It's not easy to open a business. It takes sacrifice. It takes money. It takes work for all my family. And now it feels like we don't want the dream to die. We're just holding it, hoping that we can find a few sponsors now that everything reopened. They can help us out to keep the program going. And it will be amazing. One of the fighters that will help me out is Andy Ruiz.
Mm-hmm.
He's helping me out a lot with the gym, with support with the gym, as well as the Tyson Fury. So these two men and also Jesse, Magdaleno. Yeah. So I got the support of them, and they always help me, giving the support, giving me the push to keep the gym open. I hope we can reopen in the May 1st. That's what we have right now in plan by the government. I hope it will change. Yeah. But I hope this pandemic, first of all, I hope this pandemic goes low and people get healthy and all the disease stop, people from dying,
Yeah.
That's the main thing, and I hope business can reopen, and I'm sure this is a great country. It's a country of people get everything done, and people, it's a hardworking people, and I just hope that we can get rebuilt.
Yeah.
We open the gym and just start little by little growing again.
Yeah, amen to that. Hopefully everything gets up going by May, so that we're not sitting around any longer. We can restart life again for sure.
Yeah.
I've noticed that your son Dylan, your little prodigy, boxing prodigy. I noticed on Instagram you guys are still training. He's lucky to have you as a father, so he can keep training. How is he holding up? I know it's a question for all your boys, but I know that Dylan is always out there putting his face out there, wanting to be a famous boxer when he grows up.
Yeah. You know what? It's been hard for everybody, I think for every kid in the nation or in the world,
Yeah.
You everything changed, from go to school, for go to practice, your sport or any arts or you name it, just the fact to be home. Of course, it's hard. It's hard for them.
Yeah.
But thank God we got like where we are right now is my garage, so we cleaning it up and I'm making a little gym. So we have a gym here in the garage. So I told them we can't stop working, we can't stop training. We gotta keep the passion going.
Yeah.
We gotta keep the passion going. We gotta keep the flame alive. So we just gotta keep moving forward. As long as we allowed to do it, and we help to do it, and we have the possibility to do it, why not? We gotta just in what we have, and when we have the garage, let's work in the garage, and we make a good environment, put the music on, and I got my 4 sons all working together, training together, and just having fun and keep moving forward, Armando.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Well, I definitely appreciate your time. I know we've been trying to hook up for a while, and with with the COVID, we finally have time. We finally have time to talk because you're a busy man. So I definitely appreciate your time. Let everyone know where they can follow you on Instagram.
Okay, my Instagram is Jorge Capetillo 02. And you can also follow my gym, Capetillo TM Boxing Gym, where we're located on the 3430 East Tropicana Avenue, Suite 6061, Las Vegas, Nevada. So we're here, hoping that we can reopen and hope to see everybody's welcome to come to the gym and stop by,
Yeah, definitely. I need to, when you open back up, I need to come by. I've been actually keeping active. There's with all this, with all this downtime, I've had my bag in the garage set up. So I've been working out pretty much 5-6 days a week. So
that's good, Armando. That's good. I know you're really passionate for the sport too. I know you love the sport, and I'm so happy to see you too with your channel. And I know you sacrifice too a lot, for making it happen, and just to see best in boxing doing, doing the to televise by your YouTube channel, fights from Mexico, and see all these fighters coming up. It's great what you're doing, man, and I'm very happy to see best in boxing doing the best, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely not. I'm definitely not where I want it to be. I mean, I want to be able to do. Honestly, I have set up to where I could be doing a fight a weekend. I've met so many promoters, as well as form relationships with guys who own venues who have fights all the time down in Tijuana with promoters here in the United States. It's just about the financing and getting everything, making it work economically, because really I want to be able to get as many fighters who aren't represented by the Top Rank and Golden Boys and Matchroom of the world, all these guys who fight on a regular basis that never get seen. I mean, my goal is to be broadcasting all of them so that they get the opportunity to get their talent showcased and make some more money, like you were saying earlier, feed their families, put food on their table. If I'm able to bring exposure to them when they're just starting at the levels that they're at, and then hopefully they're able to build their careers bigger, faster, make more money down the road. And that's the goal. So my ideal would be I'd be doing boxing every weekend. We'd be doing 1, maybe 2 fights a week, 2 fight nights a week, with working with different promoters and broadcasting thousands of fights online so that people all over the world can see it. And that's one of the beauties about it, is that we have fighters who are fighting out of Mexico, fighting out of San Diego, fighting out of California, but we have audience members in the Philippines, audience members in Australia, in Russia, in England, all over, in Mexico, watching their fights. So it's like I said, it's not where I want it to be, but it's growing. So that's good. I just have to be patient.
Yeah, that's awesome, Armando. That's really awesome, because in the beginning nobody pays attention for those 4 rounders who they're just starting or they're just beginning, and to have access to your channel to expose their talent to sports. You're gonna find a lot of talent, and I'm sure the next Marquez, the next Eddie Morales, the next Barrera can come up on your channel from what you're doing. It will be great to see the next Mexican or American, England, or any the next champions, for the next generation.
That's one of the goals. That's one of those days that'll make me pat myself on the back, is to see someone who started out fighting on Best in Boxing and it has moved on to bigger promoters and becomes a world champion and becomes a superstar. I've had champions on the show, or guys who weren't champions, but 20 fights along and have become champions, like Maurice Hooker. But I want a guy who had his debut or his first or second fight with us and moved up to become world champion. like Elvis Rodriguez, who is trained under Freddie Roach now. His debut fight was with us, and I mean, you could tell right away that kid is extremely talented and is going. You know, he has all the, now that he's got Freddie Roach in his corner, he has all the assets behind him to become a world champion. So watching him, Adam Lopez signed with, actually Elvis is with Top Rank too, but Adam Lopez, he signed with Top Rank, almost knocked out Oscar. You know, so and then he performed well in that fight, and he gets a contract at Top. Yeah, so it's beginning. You're starting to see these guys move up. Both those guys debuted on the show, and so hopefully we'll see them turn into world champions one day, and I can say that they got their start with Best in Boxing. So you know,
that's awesome.
It's the little things.
No, it's more to come. It's more to come, Armando. You know,
Yeah.
It's a lot of talent out there, and I'm sure you expose every talent.
Yeah, I'm working on it. So, like I said, I appreciate the time. I really do. I know you're a busy man, and I will put this out. I'm going to try to actually put this out today, so I'll let you know.
All right, Armando. Thank you so much, and we'll stay in touch, man.
Okay, definitely. Tell your family I said hi. Tell the boys I said hi. The wife, and you guys stay safe.
All right, stay safe, man.
Okay.
All right, Armando.
I'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.